You pull into your driveway, turn off the engine. And you can't remember a single second of the drive home. You know you stopped at the red lights. You know you made the turns. But you weren't really there for any of it. Someone else was driving. And that someone was you, on autopilot. And you do this far more than you think. You spend almost half of your waking life exactly like this. Let me show you. It starts the second you wake up. Your hand reaches for your phone before your eyes are even open. You didn't decide to. Your hand just went. You start brushing your teeth, and halfway through you realize you have no memory of picking up the brush. You walk into the kitchen, open the fridge, stare into the cold light, and completely forget what you wanted. You step into the shower and can't remember if you already washed your hair. So you just do it again to be safe. You drive toward work on the same road as always, except today you meant to go somewhere else. And you sail right past your turn. You walk into a room with total purpose, and the instant you cross the doorway, the reason is gone. The waiter says enjoy your meal and you say you too. Your mouth was on autopilot. Your brain wasn't even invited. You lock the front door, walk away, then stop. Did I lock it? You have to go back because you have no memory of doing the thing you just did. You type a password you've entered 1,000 times, but the second someone watches over your shoulder, your fingers freeze and forget the pattern completely. You reach into your pocket for your phone, while your phone is already sitting in your other hand. A friend asks you something, you say yeah, sure, and a heartbeat later you have no idea what you just agreed to. You finish a whole bag of chips and look down, genuinely surprised that the bag is empty. You don't remember eating a single one. You've done it in conversations too. Nodding along, making all the right sounds, while your mind is somewhere 3 miles away. None of this means something is wrong with you. It means something is going very, very right. Here's the thing. Your brain is the most expensive organ you own. 2% of your body weight, but 20% of your energy. Every new decision, every new thing you learn burns fuel. And your brain is quietly obsessed with one goal. Not running out. So it built a trick. Anything you do often enough, it hands off to a deeper, older system that runs without you watching. Deep in the middle of your brain sits a cluster called the basal ganglia. Think of it as your autopilot department. The very first time you tied a shoe or drove a car, your thinking brain was fully lit up, straining, working hard. But repeat it enough times, and the basal ganglia quietly records the whole sequence as a single package. A habit. Picture a small marble rolling across a flat field of grass. The first time it wanders wherever it likes. But roll it along the same line again, and it starts to carve a groove into the ground. Soon the marble doesn't need to be aimed at all. It drops into that groove on its own and follows it to the end. Your habits are grooves worn into your brain by repetition. And here is the strange part. The deeper the groove gets, the less you feel yourself choosing. A habit is simply a path so worn down that the choice at the start disappears completely. Every habit has 3 parts. A trigger, a routine, and a reward. And the moment the trigger fires, the whole thing runs itself. Scientists call this chunking. Your brain bundles 100 tiny actions into one smooth move you never have to think about. Getting dressed is dozens of small decisions. But you feel it as one thing you barely notice, because it has been chunked into a single block. One study out of Duke University found that around 43% of what people do every single day isn't a fresh decision at all. It's a habit firing automatically in the same place at the same time. This is why the drive home disappears. The route is so deeply chunked that your thinking brain clocked out and let autopilot take the wheel. Literally. So really, you have 2 different drivers living inside your head. One is slow, careful, and exhausting. It handles anything new or hard. The other is fast, effortless, and completely automatic. And the fast one runs the show far more than you would ever admit. The trouble is, it is not always on your side. Your brain would rather be wrong on autopilot than pay the price of stopping to think. Thinking is slow, and slow to your brain quietly feels dangerous. Autopilot never checks whether the plan has changed. It just runs the old routine exactly as recorded. That is why you drove toward your old job weeks after you switched. Same car, same morning, so the same tape played. It is why you can finish an entire meal while scrolling and feel like you never ate. Autopilot works the fork. You never tasted a bite. It is why you say the wrong name, grab the wrong door, pour the cereal straight into your coffee mug. The routine fired before your attention ever arrived. And autopilot doesn't just erase your memories. It quietly makes your choices for you. The snack you grab without being hungry. The seat you always take. The same lunch, the same route, the same scroll, chosen by a version of you who wasn't really paying attention. Autopilot is fast for one reason. It skips the single thing that slows you down. Awareness. And here is the unsettling part. Most of your day is running on it. Nearly half of what you do without ever deciding to. Now, before that scares you, remember why your brain built this in the first place. Imagine if every step you took needed full concentration. If tying your shoes felt like defusing a bomb, you would never make it out the doors. Autopilot is exactly what frees your mind to wander. The daydream on your walk, the idea in the shower. That space only exists because something else is quietly driving. Think about anyone you admire who is brilliant at something. The pianist isn't thinking about each finger. The surgeon's hands move on their own. Mastery is just autopilot aimed at something that matters. So here is what nobody tells you. You are not lazy for living this way. Your brain is doing exactly what it evolved to do. Protecting the tiny sliver of attention you have for the things that are actually new. The problem was never autopilot itself. The problem is running it when the road underneath you has changed. So how do you wake up on purpose? You don't fight the system. You just interrupt it. Trick 1. Break the trigger. Move your phone to the other side of the room, and your half-asleep hand reaches out and finds nothing. And you wake up. Trick 2. Name what you are doing out loud or in your head. I am locking the doors. Awareness flips the slow driver back on for a second, and now you will remember it. Trick 3. Change the route. Take a different street, use your other hand, move things around on your desk. Novelty is the one thing autopilot cannot run. Trick 4. Add a little friction. A rubber band on the doorknob, a sticky note on the mirror. Friction is a speed bump for autopilot, and a speed bump forces you to slow down and actually look. The moment anything is new, the fast driver taps out and your thinking brain snaps awake to look around. You don't need to be awake for all of it. Let autopilot brush your teeth. You just want the wheel back for the parts that actually matter. So tomorrow morning, when your hand drifts toward your phone before you are even awake, catch it. Just once. Notice the exact second the tape starts to play. That noticing, that tiny pause. That is you stepping back into the driver's seat. You spend half of your life on autopilot. You can't change that. But you can choose which half. If any part of this felt like it was about you, that is your autopilot recognizing itself in the mirror. Subscribe and let's keep waking it up together.